T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, own it, own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
And I forgot to take this thing off, but of course, we are here. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. It is Friday Night Smackdown. There is no Rampage tonight, so we are only talking about SmackDown leading up to going into WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is literally next freaking week, guys. So I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all prepared. And yeah, we got to really dive into some things that happened tonight. But of course, I am Driune Santana, or you can call me Santana. I am the EIC here and one half of the only Dominick tag team in Women's Wrestling Talk history. And of course, I'm here with Stephanie, Queen Steph Hardy of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Stephanie, how are you feeling on this Friday? I mean, by the title of this episode, the excitement is unreal.
Yes, I am doing fantastic, and of course, always happy to be with you, Driune. And yeah, this episode of SmackDown was really lit, and the excitement is really at an all-time high. Because it's like you said, WrestleMania is next week, and the more I think about it, the more overwhelmed I get, because it's like, I'm going to be there, so many other people are going to be there, there's so many things happening surrounding the city. It's a really exciting time, and matches are still being made. Like, it's just an incredible time to be a wrestling fan. And also, for those who are watching our after show, please know Rampage does come on tomorrow night at 9 Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, but it just doesn't come on tonight because TNT had soccer showing tonight. So that's what's going on. But yeah, oh my God, I'm really excited to get into SmackDown.
Man, it's a wild time, man. Like, hey Jeffrey, welcome.
Hey,
What's
Jeffrey.
up, Joseph? I mean, tonight's
Hey,
episode
Joseph.
is gonna be real interesting. Like I said, by the title, we're gonna get to that real soon. We got some other things we gotta dive into first. And let's go ahead and dive into this here. We had our first match of the night: Cody Rhodes versus Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, like, this was a banger of a match, a great opening. I would have never thought that we would have, when they actually announced this match earlier this week, I didn't think that we would get such a banger between these two. And of course, you know, we don't see Roman at all whatsoever, but we do see Solo and Paul Heyman. I honestly don't really mind this duo. I feel like Paul would be like a great advocate for Solo if he wanted to treat him like an Umaga or like a Brock Lesnar, to be honest, if we, move forward in that state. But they did come out and settle on the sidelines as they watched Cody Rhodes and Ludwig put on a really, really good match. But Cody did pick up the victory. And even afterwards, I mean, this showdown between Solo and Cody, I mean, it kind of just made you feel like, wow, okay, even though they did announce this match between Solo and Cody is going to take place on Monday for Raw, I don't know. Like, I mean, Paul was hyping this up a bit more, and I mean, Cody is still letting him know, like, Solo, you are not ready. Same thing I told you Monday. You stand on the sides of someone in a faction, and you're the same as I was. I was not ready to go up against those who were ahead of me in my career, and you are the same exact way. You are not ready, but I am ready for this match between these two come Monday. But Stephanie, in the midst of Ludwig and Cody's match and leading up to the aftermath here, how did you feel about this first matchup with Cody and Ludwig?
Well, I will say this. I was very surprised when they did announce that Cody was going to be fighting Ludwig, because I was like, really? Okay, that's interesting. Like, I just wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Cody is sort of on his workhorse stuff right now, proving himself to be
Right.
that guy physically before WrestleMania. So,
Mm-hmm.
this was a stellar match. I really enjoyed it. There was lots of action. It seemed like it seemed like Ludwig was really up for the challenge, and like he wasn't intimidated by the idea that Cody was going to fight him. And I really was impressed with his ability to rise to the occasion, and also to Cody fighting somebody like Ludwig Kaiser, you know, who is from a different style of wrestling in terms of that UK style. So it was really good, but I did get kind of worried though, because I was like, oh my God, is Cody going to lose because Paul and Solo are out here, you know, low-key distracting him or whatnot? Like, is that what's gonna happen? But it didn't, and I was pretty okay with that. So that's kind of how I felt with the match. The match was great, but Solo, oh my gosh, there's so much that could be said about this situation. Oh, it's it's so what's so funny is just the fact that, to think about how Monday Cody really did tell Solo, like, look, I was you in Legacy. And that felt like such a long time ago. Like, you could almost forget that Cody Rhodes really was side by side with Randy Orton in that
Right.
faction, and said DiBiase, because that was so long ago, and he had black hair, and it was just crazy. But you know, to fast forward to now, and Solo is really in the same position, except now, of course, you know, when he got called up, he was the NXT North American champion for a week, and then that got taken away, and now, you know, he was just on the main roster right next to him. And even though he's proving to be very imposing, he still has yet to prove himself, you know. Well, then again, he is undefeated, but at the same time, like, outside of the bloodline, he hasn't really done a whole lot. So he really might not be ready, but it's really interesting. Like, this dynamic is really interesting, but I feel like something crazy is gonna happen on Raw, because it's the Raw before Mania. So I'm really intrigued.
I mean, it is. I mean, what can you say? And I want to say hey to the street. One of
Hey,
our writers
shit.
here. Thank you so much for popping in, and she was holding it down for live tweet on SmackDown on the Women's Wrestling Talk Twitter page. So shout out to her. Also shout out to Nikki for holding down for Sacrifice, even though Sacrifice is still currently happening right now. So shout out to her, for both of them, for holding down Twitter and everything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I personally, I don't know exactly what could really transpire. I mean, yeah, you brought up PTSD with the whole Solo winning the North American title, which he shouldn't have not won that, because he wasn't one of the contenders. But we're not going to get into that, because everybody knows how I feel about Mello, and Mello is money.
Yes, he
Uh,
is.
Amen, hallelujah. But moving on within the show. Of course, this is Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. And I mean, we had to talk about the queen, the 14-time women's champion, Charlotte Flair, who really gave a very much holistic promo tonight. Um, see how I did there? Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Charlotte really let people know that she's is happy that she is continuing the legacy of her father. She loves her dad. She respects her dad. And she let it be known that she's beaten literally Becky, Bailey, Sasha, the Bella Twins, Trish Stratus. The list goes on and on of the women that she has beaten, and she's even beaten Rhea Ripley. You know what I'm saying? She's beaten her before. So it's just like, we were able to kind of see a little bit of really having that focus on Rhea Ripley on Monday with her promo before Bayley came out and interfered, you know, and all this and that. But we kind of got to see that this tension between these two is really, really heating up. And with that big brawl that happened last week, really put the icing on the cake. And I mean, Charlotte's tone tonight, the way she came out and everything, she looked absolutely fabulous as always. The queen of the bodysuits. And it's really like I'm more invested in seeing if Rhea Ripley is going to be able to do what the other Royal Rumble winners have not been able to do, and that is beat Charlotte Flair on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. Can Rhea Ripley do that? Dominick is no longer a distraction. He's out. He got his own stuff to take care of. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Damien doing his own thing. Finn got his own thing to take care of. Right now, the focus is really on Rhea and Charlotte. And I mean, depending on how we're moving forward into next week's show, I don't know. I'm really here for it between these two. I don't know what's gonna happen. But Stephanie, how did you feel about Charlotte's promo? I mean, last week she was all about, you know, I'm your hero and all this and that and stuff like that. And now this week it's kind of like, let me tell y'all who I really am, because I think y'all forgot, but go ahead.
Yeah, it seemed like in this promo it was pretty, you know, peppy and cool in the beginning. But then she got irritated because the crowd in Las Vegas, no shade to them, was chanting what chants throughout the night at a lot of people, but then also at her. And I was just like, okay. And she got irritated with it. And so she was just like, okay, well, let me just up the ante and really show y'all that I really do have something to truly say. And I really felt like she just put some bass behind her voice. And you don't necessarily have to be a heel to put some bass behind your voice and let people understand that you mean business. So I feel like that's really what it was. She got irritated with them and she decided to get a little bit more unapologetic about what she had to say. I was absolutely shocked at the number of people that she had named in her promo, considering Nikki and Brie Garcia now, you know, did just leave the company. And then, of course, we know everything that was going on with Mercedes/Sasha. I was very surprised that she had, you know, brought those names up. But at the same time, I mean, I wasn't mad about it either, because that's a part of her story. Because I believe in one promo, I believe it was either last month or a couple of weeks ago, she may have listed a bunch of women and did not mention her at all. But now she is, and she's going back and listing these people and saying, like, without these people, you know, and without me building a legacy by defeating some of these people and having wars with these people, then I haven't earned all the accolades that I haven't earned. And that's absolutely real. And even with talking about, you know, her father, she always, of course, she said she'll always love her dad. And yeah, a lot of people might think that there was nepotism there, but a lot of people tend to forget that just because her last name is Flair doesn't mean that she had it easy. She did not start off as a wrestler immediately. Like, that wasn't something that she had planned on doing with her life immediately, like from jump. But for someone who didn't start off that way, she really did, you know, create a great lane for herself. So this promo was really good, and she said everything she had to say and made her point. So yeah, I'm really excited about Rhea versus Charlotte, like I said last week. The only difference is I just feel like even now with you, Driune, saying that Dominick has his own business now, which we will get to in a little while, I still feel like there have been moments on SmackDown and on Raw where you've seen him twice in one night, or twice within the span of an event, in dealing with his own business and Rhea's business too. So I don't put it past him to try to butt into Rhea's business at WrestleMania. And that would irritate me, you know, because men should stay out of women's business. But either way, it's just, I wouldn't put it past him to show up and try to like insert himself in that way, which would here again speak to my point of feeling that Rhea might not be completely focused enough to take on Charlotte and defeat her in California. But really, who knows? But that's just kind of how I felt about the situation. But the promo was really stellar from her. I liked it.
Yeah, they need to get wrestling fans, let the what let that what shit go. Like, nobody does the what things anymore. It should only work when Stone Cold Steve Austin is out there. Doing those what chants just doesn't hit the same anymore because y'all overutilize it. Like, honestly, truly. But I mean, I feel like whatever happens between these two, it is going to be a great match. We've seen Charlotte and Rhea in the ring before. I feel like we are on a different version of Charlotte and a different version of Rhea. But sometimes it kind of does feel like Rhea still has a little bit of a little sister like-minded way. But I feel like going into WrestleMania, really seeing how things is going to transpire between these two, it's going to be a good match. Will it main event night one? I have absolutely no idea. I know people are still in the whole thing about, well, the tag team title should main event night one over Charlotte and Rhea, but I'm like, if y'all gonna go on with this consistency of like the Royal Rumble winners are going to be main eventing, then you need to keep that. You need to keep that same thing, unless you're going to switch something up. That's something I can pretty much think of. Like, there's absolutely no other way around it. But I don't know. Whatever happens between these two is going to be a great match. The story for it has been really good thus far, and there was still already story there. So whatever happens, I'm here for it. So
Yes, and then
no,
on top of that, we do know what is opening night one. They did
we do.
announce that
We do.
Austin Theory and John Cena will be fighting for the United States title at the beginning of night one of
Mhm.
WrestleMania. And when they announced that, I was just like, "Oh, so y'all want me to lose my voice early? Okay."
Man, wow. When they said that, I was like, "Oh, wow."
Mhm.
Y'all coming in real hot with that match
Mhm.
there. I don't know how that one's going to end either. Like, could John Cena win that title again?
Oh my
Or does
god.
Theory beat Cena? Will Cena allow Theory to beat him?
I
Is this like
don't
2K where
know.
are we getting like super Cena at WrestleMania or what? I have no
I don't
idea.
know. But
But
I'm
I'm
so
excited.
excited.
I'm here for Cena. I am. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for night one. I may be switching out some shirts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if Cena's on the first night, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for. I got a Bianca shirt already, so I may have to switch out and do that. Omos, if he's on night one, you already know what's about to go on with that. So just saying, but we'll definitely get more into a lot of the WrestleMania stuff going into next week. Of course, the prediction show happens on Monday, so yeah, I don't know. Cena might be trying to get out real early, but yeah. Okay. Now we're at the real topic. Well, outside of other things that happen, but literally the topic of this show for tonight. LA Knight and Rey Mysterio have their one-on-one match tonight. And this happened because LA Knight said some things to Rey last week that he was not feeling. And he hit that man in the face and said some other things that is not women's wrestling talk freely, that you can utilize that language on here. But yeah, so I ended up getting this one-on-one match here. And Dominic does find a way to interfere in any capacity, of course. Rey's his fucking mother and sister is out there, Rey's wife and daughter Leah. And they're out there watching, Rey have his match and Dominic and this whole thing unfold. And LA Knight does pick up the victory. He does. With of course the assist of Rey. I mean, not Rey, but Dominic, you know what I'm saying? And Dominic is still finding a way to try to get up under his father's skin in any capacity. And I told y'all last week, or I said this, I think we were talking about it Monday or whatever, but I said that it's gonna take Dominic to do something like major for Rey to accept this challenge from him and to knock his ass out. And all it took was to tell his mother to shut up and snatch that mic from him and be very disrespectful. You talked about your sister. You said you disrespected your moms. And Rey was like, you know what? That does it. I'm finna kick your ass. And he punched that man in the face, literally. And Dominic, look at him, scared, don't even know what to do, ran like crawling away. It's like, no, 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 no. You've been telling your father every week, hit me, hit me. You're a coward. You're a coward. You never show a 10 in my games. You never do anything for me. You've always been a deadbeat. Mom, how do you marry a deadbeat? How do you allow this man to be my father? Blah, 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 and all this and that. And now look at you. You're shocked because Rey finally put his hands on you, something that you have been wanting and begging for. And he also is giving you a match at WrestleMania, what you've been wanting and have been threatening him for. You put your hands on him. You disrespected him each and every, since you turned on your dad, you have disrespected him. You have done all kinds of things to him. You have allowed other people to do things to your father. And that pop that Rey got when he knocked the hell out of Dominick, I almost flipped this desk over, but I realized that I put it together, so I can't knock anything over. But I know that my neighbors above me were really mad, but honestly, I don't give a damn because they walk like it's a step show every week. But honestly, this was like a favorite part of the night. I was waiting for this to happen, and I can't wait till WrestleMania gets here in LA, where Rey is going to beat the holy hell out of his son. That's all I got to say about that. So, you got what you deserve.
Yes. And
a step show always happens above me every night. You have no idea.
Stomp the R3.
Right.
Yeah, Joseph, that's a really good observation. A lot of people thought it would have happened at the Hall of Fame, but it didn't.
All right, not too much, Jeffrey.
Yeah, but I will say this though, like this, as much as I was looking forward to watching Rey and LA Knight fight like in a fair fight. Once I really felt like I already had like an inkling that Dominick was gonna come out and be about some mess, and that's exactly what he was. And he messed up his daddy. And then definitely when they said that Miss Angie and Aaliyah were out there, I was just like, oh no, he really gonna be about the shenanigans now. And he came out there, tripped up his dad lost the match, whatever. But what is that to Rey Mysterio now? It's okay. It's okay. He's fine. So he wasn't gonna hit him. He walked off, and then Dominic just kept going and kept talking to him, saying, "You're just a deadbeat. You're just da 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 da." And then you take it a step further and not only disrespect your daddy, but you disrespect your mom and your sister. You call your sister, I'm not sure who exactly is the oldest out of the both of them, but you call your sister stupid, and then you call your mom a deadbeat. First of all, when a woman gives birth to someone, that is not a deadbeat situation. You are using your entire body physically and emotionally in order to bring life into the world. That is not a deadbeat situation. That is motherhood, and that is lit, okay? So that was mad disrespectful. Then on top of that, you tell her to shut up. I kid you not. If that was my mom, Miss Sephra, she would have slapped me, okay? Miss Sephra would not have it, okay? Like there is no way. Shut would not even come out of my mouth because the up would be knocked right back down my throat, okay? So I don't understand. Like, so literally, I couldn't even believe he even did that. But Rey said, look, you will not disrespect your mom, not in front of me. You will not disrespect my wife. You will not disrespect your sister. And he popped him clear in the face for it. And I was so glad, because if you're not going to beat him up for you, at least, take up for the family. And that's what he did. And he said, okay, so you want a match so bad? You want to fight me so bad? I got you. And he was looking scared. And I'm just like, nah, your ass wrote a check. Hold on. Your mouth wrote a check that your ass can't cash. Okay. So now here we are. And now you want to be running scared. No, baby. No. You were antagonizing him all these months, and he kept restraining himself over and over again. And now you want to look like, you've seen a ghost and looking like you want to cry in the face. Boy, get out of here. You should have been smacked. But it's okay though. When he got that smack, everybody in that arena lost their minds. and I was happy. I was so happy. Like, ladies, get you a Rey Mysterio. That's all I got to say. Get you a Rey who gonna take up for you.
Period.
But
this
that's a husband.
That's a man. Dominick, you're a little boy.
That is a protector.
Literally, this is like, if we're thinking about the whole family situation, this is like Fast and Furious. Ray is actually Dominic Toretto.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. But yeah, this does bring us to like 13 total of 13 matches. With 3 matches having placements and stuff like that too. So we do know that Theory and Cena will kick off night 1. Seth versus Roman is night 1, and then Roman and Cody is night 2. So
Oh, Seth and Logan's night 1?
uh-huh.
Holy cow. Okay.
Yeah. Child, is heating up, it's heating up. Yes, definitely make sure you hit that thumbs up and the likes, and love the views and comment and all this, and I would definitely do appreciate it. So yeah, it's a lot to definitely, I say, dive into with this man and everything like that. But Dominic got what he deserved. So he really
And
did.
then on top of that, you want to talk crazy to your dad and call him a deadbeat while you're wearing off-white. Boy, get out.
Sir, please humble yourself.
R.I.P. Virgil.
Oh God, what happened to Virgil? All right. Yeah, because he did. I mean, because it is his birthday. But I mean, hey, if you're gonna go in there, I hope he wins on his birthday or lose. I don't know. But enough of that. Let's jump right back into more of women's wrestling talk. So we had, of course, this qualifying match that I had absolutely no idea about. They just kind of sprung it on us. But we had Xia Li and Lacey Evans versus Shotzi and Natalya. And Liv and Raquel, those two who actually did qualify last week, were out there in attendance watching. And this match was okay. So I wouldn't say it was anything that made me feel like, okay. It's just a lot of unlikely, interesting pairs out here together. But within this match here, Lacey ends up hitting Xia Li in the face. And Shotzi goes for this really, really big dive on Lacey Evans outside the ring before her and Natty do like a really nice sequence tag team combination of a running like clothesline and then going into the sharpshooter, and Xia Li actually taps out. Yeah, they won. But we also get the return of Ronda Rousey and my girl Shayna Baszler, because I do love Shayna. Like, I fucks with Shayna. Ronda, okay. But they basically come out here, they crack a few jokes or whatever, just to say that they have been added to the match that's happening at WrestleMania. And so now we have Liv and Raquel, Shotzi and Natty, and Ronda and Shayna versus whoever these other 2 women are going to be. I'm not going to even ask how they did not even get a chance to qualify, because I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, Ronda Rousey is right there. You think they're going to put in a qualifying match or something? Absolutely not at all whatsoever. So now, I mean, it's pretty much up to figuring out who are the last 2 women that's going to join these women here for WrestleMania. I have absolutely no idea, but I don't really have anything to say. I don't really know what to say. All I can say is I do feel like no matter who the last person that gets added, last tag team that gets added to this, Shayna and Ronda are probably going to be winning.
Yeah, I remember when they first announced that these matches were happening for the men and the women, it sort of caught me off guard a bit. But in terms of the women who aren't participating like in title contention or in other bigger matches, I was at least happy that the other women were going to be utilized in some way, shape, or form. So at least there is that. Because of course it's just, there have been so many WrestleManias where there have only been like one women's match on the card and they're all in a cluster, or they'll just have one where it's just for a title, if it is for a title at all, and just have them there. But either way, I'm glad that all the women are being utilized. And I did read that at one point Ronda did have a hairline fracture, so maybe that's why they didn't have a match for them to qualify to go in it. But a part of me wonders is this match going to be like for the next person up who's going to challenge the women's tag team champions later on? Or is this just a means of them just fighting on the grandest stage just to say that they won this on the grandest stage?
Well, I don't want to say it could be the same way they did it 2 years ago when they had the whole tag team turmoil thing going on, and Natty and Tamina end up winning, just for them to go on to night 2 to face Nia and Shayna for the tag titles and lose. So I don't know. I honestly don't think that they're going to allow Lita and Becky to fight 2 nights in a row. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that maybe whoever wins here at WrestleMania will probably go on to, I don't know, I don't want to say SummerSlam because that's far away, but maybe go on to Backlash and face Lita and Becky there, or maybe they'll do like on a random Monday night or SmackDown, you know, and do it that way. It really just depends on what the outcome is. I think they were probably doing this so that the women could not feel like they're being left off, since there are 2 major title matches happening, since the tag team titles are not being defended because they're in a 6-woman tag match and everything. So I don't know. I don't know what the outcome is really going to be, but shout out to these women for being, at least making it onto the WrestleMania card, because honestly, I had no idea what other options they had for them. I wish they would decide they want to bring back that Miss WrestleMania Battle Royale that they used to do. I think that would have been really cool to have, since they, of course, going to be, I'm not going to assume, I'm just saying, but I just feel like Shayna and Ronda are probably going to win. Probably. If I had to choose, it probably wouldn't. It would have. I have to figure out who the last person is going to be for me to actually feel like I can make another option, no choice. Just saying, but that's on that. But yeah, so this was made official. Rey Mysterio versus Dominick Mysterio. Don't know exactly which night this is going to happen, but it's happening. Right after Rey gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dominic tries something at the Hall of Fame too.
He
and then all the legends are gonna whoop his ass. So
exactly. But speaking of legends, though, they've only announced 3. It's like they've announced 3 inductees, and they haven't really announced anyone else. Like for, I guess traditionally, who was going to win the Warrior Award, or if a woman inductee. So I'm wondering, like, what's happening with that.
Make it a chocolate match with the shoe, the flip flop. Yeah, put the chocolate on the string or whatever on the pole, and then whoever gets it get to beat their opponent with it.
Is that a sandal?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
I mean, listen, trust me. You live in a Hispanic household, okay. You never know where it's coming. It's thrown like a frisbee. I'm telling you. Once it hit, it connects, and it's not a great feeling.
Yeah, in my house, it was just the belt.
Well, that too, but you kind of get there quick enough when you kind of fling that thing, and it like pops you in the back of the head or something. You never know when it's coming. So I'm telling you, you come from a Hispanic home, and either your father, well, majority of the time is really your mom's, and yeah, you never know when it's coming. I'm telling you, they should probably be in the football team or some shit, the way they throw them damn shoes. But yeah, that is a Vince Russo type match. I don't mind it. Let jazzy the shit up at this point. So, but we get here. One of my favorite part of the night, to be honest, because so we have this contract signing between Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. And Drew and Sheamus out here because, well, Sheamus feels like Drew stabbed him in the back, and things like that. And things started to really, really get heated between these two before Gunther came out and, he needed some justifications for some things. And then he had the audacity to ask Pete, who you looking at? And Pete said, hold on, bitch. I'm not the one. Don't play with me. Don't do that. Don't do that in front of me in my face. Like hell no. Pizza, all right. You want all right, keep talking that shit. I'm gonna hop my ass over that damn table and I'm gonna knock your ass out. And that's exactly what he did. And that's my man. And that's how you pull up on somebody. So the next time anybody asks me a question like, who you looking at? What you looking at? There. That's me. I'm gonna jump over whatever. If there, I don't care if it's, I don't care what's in front of me. I'm jumping over it just to prove a point. Okay. Because first of all, I'm already short. And now you talking, now you gonna talk down on me and talk crazy to me too. Oh no. This ain't no double homicide over here. We're not doing that. Okay. Okay. I will act like I'm 6'6" and I'm only 5'3". Absolutely not. We're not doing that. Okay. So, but yeah, so eventually once they kind of got Pete under control, uh Gunther won this match, and they ended up starting to have a match, and honestly, like seeing a match between Gunther and Pete, or Walter and Pete, Butch, whatever, it brings back so many memories of NXT UK, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
Pete did lose his NXT title to Walter, and it brings, like I said, it brings a lot of memories because these two had a banger of a match back in NXT UK and even on like NXT 2, the takeovers and stuff like that. So having this match here was absolutely amazing, despite, you know, having his two opponents out there. Like this triple threat match for Mania is gonna child, you thought Dragunov and JD Madonna's match, the bruises that they had, if all of them, if Dragunov, JD Madonna, Walt, Gunther, Drew, Sheamus, Pete, throw out Tyler Bate, throw throw all the UKs together, I promise you, I don't know who's gonna be left standing. Just saying, but that would be like my dream match, to have all of them in there together, just beating the hell out of each other. But that's just me. I live for violence, and they give me that. But this, nonetheless, this was a really good match, to the point where Drew did get the hell up and on the rope and got upset because Pete did hit him by mistake, and that's because he Gunther moved out the way and blah blah and all this and that. But nonetheless, yeah, this is. But nonetheless, Pete did lose, and everything like that. And yeah, yeah, I don't, mm, I, it would have been nice for him to win, but I don't think Gunther would have lost anyway. But Stephanie, what did you think about this match here? This build up between Gunther and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre moving over into WrestleMania next week.
Well, let's start from the contract signing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am on Team Sheamus. Even though I love Drew and Sheamus's friendship, it
Yeah,
felt like Drew sort of took his friendship and slid it to the side just for the sake of him being on the WrestleMania card. Because I feel like Drew McIntyre is really suffering from a nostalgia kick from when he was on the WrestleMania card, when he won the Royal Rumble in 2020 and won the title during the pandemic time, and he's been chasing that high ever since. And quite honestly, it's getting irritating because you're it's like you knew Sheamus wanted to go after that title because that's the only title he's never won his entire time being in WWE. You knew that, and yet and still you inserted yourself in that match just because you feel like it always has to be about you because you have championship syndrome. And I really need for him to chill because, yeah, Drew even tried to throw shade at him and make it seem like you couldn't beat Gunther either. But my thing is, when it comes to that, Sheamus and Gunther had probably the biggest pop of that whole entire Clash at the Castle pay-per-view, if we really want to keep it a buck.
definitely.
While you were fighting Roman Reigns, which we already know was a done deal. So it's just kind of like, sir, you throwing shade at Sheamus, but Sheamus really the one that's got the juice, and you sitting over here, with your cute little dimples, desperate for another opportunity to be on top and getting ready to step on your best friend in order to do it. And it's just like, sir, you really could have just stepped to the side and stayed out of it, but you didn't want to. And I get it, because it's WrestleMania. Everybody wants to be a part of WrestleMania. But my thing is, you'll you'll sacrifice your friendship for that, and that's something that I just don't like. That's low-key fake to me, and I hate that. So if Sheamus wins that match at WrestleMania, I'll be so happy because that's his title. He wanted that title. He wanted that opportunity. He worked for that opportunity, and he set that match on fire at Clash of the Castle last year. He deserves it. Drew, in my eyes, does not. So he needs to chill on that. And as you know, when it comes to the match between Gunther and Pete, they did a really good job, and it gave me shades of NXT UK as well. This match was really good. I enjoyed the physicality of it, the hard hits and stuff. Like, I just enjoy watching this style of fighting so much, and they are a part of making this type of fighting mainstream in terms of the WWE audience. So it was really good to see that happen. So big ups to the both of them. And Pete jumping over that table was just it just gave me flashbacks of high school. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it was good.
You had people jumping over the table with your high school?
Yes.
like in a lunchroom to fight somebody?
Yes.
I can understand that. I've seen people jump over stuff in the classroom. Well, I don't know. Whatever happens for WrestleMania between these three, I'm just here for the match itself. And I would love for Sheamus to win this title. I really do. I think it'll be great for him. And if he does win, I think it'll be great. If he doesn't, then I guess Gunther is going to continue maybe hold on to this title, possibly. So I don't know, but he was trying to intimidate Adam Pearce. Y'all gonna stop doing Daddy Pearce like that, because y'all be figuring that man was a wrestler in his time, and he was knocking people out. So I'm gonna need y'all to get it together, okay? So
he kept yelling "justify it" so much to the point to where I low-key wanted it as a t-shirt. Justify it. Justify it. Okay, he doesn't have to justify it. Okay, he is the boss. Hush.
Yeah. He didn't though, but there is true. All right. So of course we do have this match happening next week. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will be on the same tag next week against Imperium, and don't know if they can really coexist or whatever, but let's hope so. This is called WrestleMania Friday because WrestleMania is exactly happening next week. I won't be there to be exact, but I'm there in spirit. Like, if y'all want to put me on a cardboard box or something, or walk around my face on around, you can. I don't mind it. Please don't do that. It's kind of weird. Stop the face, Stephanie, please.
I just want you to be there.
Well, listen, that's a flight that I'm not ready for. Honestly, if I could teleport, maybe. If I could teleport, maybe, but flying, no. You can catch me at WrestleMania 40. Nikki did get her ticket, and Rhea. I hope Rhea and Charlotte is on night one. I can't say. I hope so. If not, I'm so sorry.
I get to meet Nikki.
Yeah, you do get to have the chance to meet Nikki. So also we are having the Andre the Giant Battle Royale with all of these contenders who do not have anything to do for WrestleMania. And honestly, truly, because I haven't seen them in a long time, Top Dollar would not have an issue going over that damn top rope. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He don't even have to dive or try. Like, he's going over. But I do agree. It does suck that Bobby is a part of this battle royal when he was supposed to be having a match with Bray. There hasn't really been anything talked about in regards to like what's going on with Bray or what's happening or anything like that. So I don't know. But we have Legado Fantasmas. I think it's Joaquin and Raul. We have Maximum Male Models, Montse and Montois, whatever. We have the OC, Gallows and Anderson, who have not seen them in a very, very long time. We have two former Hurt Businesses. And honestly, why do y'all have all the tag team back here in the back next to each other? Is a good question. So Cedric and Shelton, and then we have Angel Garza and Umberto, who we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So really nice to be able to see them back. Of course, the City Trends boys. Santos Escobar, Dexter Lumis, my man Pete, Ridge, Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, my other guy, Rick Boogs, and Elias or Ezekiel, whatever. Johnny Gargano, Xavier Woods, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross, Bomb as Corbin, Bronson Reed, and Madcap Moss. I don't know who's gonna win. I see a lot of you guys are voting for Bobby, and I see some are saying LA Knight. Yeah, I know I'm gonna rock with my man all the way, all day, every day. So I got a few up in here actually. I got Santos, Pete, and Mustafa Ali. Yeah, those my three. Those my three
well,
picks.
well, I know I have more than three. My favorites to win are Xavier Woods. I guess you could say Bronson Reed, Bobby Lashley, and LA Knight. Those are my favorites to win.
All right. I don't know. Well, I don't know what happens though, but this is gonna be a real interesting battle royal between these guys.
But I do
and
feel weird though. Like, why is Johnny in it when he's supposed to be fighting instead of deliver?
Girl, he's
So
still
he got to fight at night
too.
and in the morning.
Hey,
the next morning.
Nikki said, "If Bronson Reed wins, we riot. We are
Lord.
throwing the tables. We are throwing everybody the hell out." We also will be having Cody Rhodes and Roman. All roads lead to Roman next week. The final showdown before WrestleMania. These boys were cooking on Monday, and if y'all missed my rhetoric on Monday, y'all need to go back and watch what I said. I'm not gonna repeat it here, but if I had a clip, I would play it for y'all and let y'all know exactly how I told y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. I told y'all. That's it. No more, no less. This bloodline shit is over with. It's done. Okay. All I'm gonna say is, what's a Roman with no more reigns? What's a chief without a tribe? Okay. We're not gonna get into it because we're gonna have to pass around a collection plate. But yeah, this is happening next week.
Jay will leave you. Jimmy will leave you too.
Solo
will leave.
And Paul goes back to being a goddamn advocate.
Child. Cody.
That's all I'm saying. I have nothing else. Listen, let me tell you something. All right.
Did our hearts not burn?
Go back and watch Monday Night Raw post show. That's where I really gave a whole lot of synopsis. We passed around a collection plate, went to church. We praise the Lord and all that good jazz there. But yeah, this will be happening next week. And stuff like that. So let's kind of get into the closing part. Girl.
Oh snap! No, that's a good idea.
This ain't no hear me out situation. No,
that's a good idea though. No. That's a good idea. No, Nikki, that's a good idea. Don't let her discourage you.
So it's gonna be the battle of MVP and Paul Heyman in a match trying to get Bobby Lashley.
But think about the heat you get on the microphone from that though. That'll be fire.
No. But okay, so we get here because this is our basically our closing segment. We get the KO show with Sammy and Kevin, who will be going on to WrestleMania to face the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Champions. And KO Mania, and we got a Sammy Mania shirt. Was WrestleZania. Yeah. What the fuck ever.
WrestleZania.
I wonder if they're gonna sell those shirts. I hope so.
They are.
But yeah, this was basically our closing segment for the night between those two. I mean, of course, they had to talk about the history that these two have for each other, being together in Montreal and going into their own reigns as champions and things like that separately and stuff like that, and their history that they have together. And the whole thing is really just taking down the bloodline together as one. And will they be able to conquer that come next week, to be exact? And they gave each other a really, really big hug before the Usos. God, Jay. My God. Jimmy J,
their wives are blessed.
Amen. Praise the Lord. I love a man in a crop top. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. So just saying. So I love a good crop top. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. But But yeah, they came out, they attacked them from behind before and beat the hell out of Sam before escaping the ring when Kevin Owens came back with a steel chair. And this is basically like, I want to say, like our end shot for the end of SmackDown. I mean, this is really heating up and leading up, but do we feel like even with this build up and this story that has been going on for a while now, do we feel like the Usos' reign comes to an end next week? Like, do we have enough to make it seem like Sammy and Kevin could win at WrestleMania? Nikki thinks otherwise, but so
Oh no, a part of me would just love it if the whole bloodline just lost everything in
yeah.
this one weekend. Like, cause I was listening, I forgot what wrestling podcast I was listening to today,
Mm-hmm.
where they were talking about, what would happen if the Usos kept their titles, and then if Roman lost his, or if Roman um or if it was the other way around. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that
Mm-hmm.
is so crazy to think about, because if can you imagine a bloodline without Roman as the champion, and the Usos still have their titles, or a bloodline with the Usos who aren't champions but then Roman is still the champion? Like, it's insane to even wrap your mind around. But a part of me really wants this to be a very triumphant and happy WrestleMania. So I want all of them to lose just collectively, so they could just be shook for like a couple of weeks and then just sit
Oh, of course.
down.
That's
But
what
I
I'm
don't
on.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea either. I'm really pumped for WrestleMania, you guys. I really am. I'm so ready for WrestleMania. I don't really
Me
have that much.
too.
I never really have expectations when it comes to shows or pay-per-views and stuff like that. I'm just there to have a good time. Like, I'm there to have a good time. I'm there to be a part of the stories and everything like that. But WrestleMania is big. There's a lot of things that are happening and transpiring. Of course, Monday we will be having our go home show for WrestleMania. Me and Nikki, we will be having our prediction show as well. Um, Friday, Santana will be alone because Stephanie is going to be across the world having an amazing time at WrestleMania during WrestleMania weekend as well. So I say nothing but safe travels for you, Stephanie. But Santana's really gonna be holding it down WrestleMania weekend. So of course, Friday Night SmackDown and I guess AEW, whatever. And then we have Stand and Deliver, which I'll be doing a post show for that here on Women's Rights Talk. And then we have WrestleMania Night 1 and 2, which I will be hosting that as well, but I will be joined by Mika and Al for both nights for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. And as of right now, Stand and Deliver is going to be held down by me. If anybody chooses to pop in, that's on them, but I hope y'all prepared. That's all I got to say about that. But nonetheless, that brings us basically to the end of SmackDown, guys. We don't really get out here too early because we have to wait on Rampage, but we don't tonight. So yeah, but Stephanie, let everyone know where they can find you at and everything.
Yeah, you guys can find and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy, and listen to my show, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, everywhere you get your audio podcasts. That's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Thank you, Jeffrey. And on the YouTube channel at The Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Tomorrow I will be recording a new episode in my Women in WrestleMania series, and I'll be talking about Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha/Mercedes Moné from WrestleMania in 2016 for the Raw Women's Championship, which came into existence on that night. And you can listen to my other series as well, because I did just release my series episode on the Vicky Guerrero Divas title invitational with AJ Lee versus the World. So please check that out as well. And also buy my merch on foryourwear.com/Hardy Wrestling Podcast, where you can find the Alabama Wrestling t-shirt, which I am wearing right now, with all of these amazing people from the state of Alabama, just like me. And you can buy them in all sizes in red or black. So buy that, represent the podcast with the t-shirts. And yeah, I'll be at WrestleMania next week. And the more they talk about it, the more overwhelmed I get. But I am so happy because I just haven't been into a WrestleMania since 2011, so I'm really excited. But thank you guys for the safe travels and well wishes in the comments. I'm really excited. And yeah, I'll probably get into some stuff, meet some people, crack some smiles, smile so hard my face hurts. But either way, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and I mean, as for me, of course, like I said, I'm not going to WrestleMania this year. You guys can catch me at WrestleMania 40 in Philly. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I don't know what's gonna happen for WrestleMania 40, but what the old people like to say, the Lord said the same. Will be there. I think they said it right. I don't know, but thank you guys so much for hanging out. Who is
we say I know here in Alabama it's like we say, you know, if the Lord is willing.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, we say if the Lord is willing, I'll see you then. That's what we say.
I don't know if I like that.
Okay, well.
I don't
I mean, I'm just saying that's the equivalent of what you just said.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord. I've never heard that before. That's new to me. I'm going to put that in my book of sayings.
Yeah.
So I can bring that out to other people and things like that. But yeah, so we do thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. As for me, of course, you can always Google me, Driune Santana, Drune. That's where you're gonna find me. I almost forgot how to spell my damn name. You can also check out Women's Wrestling Talk, the website. Don't listen. It's late. Okay. It's very late. Don't laugh at me, Jeffrey. But yeah, so definitely check out the website, www.talkpod.com. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, social media. It's been going crazy and stuff like that. Check out some of our interviews that we done. Check out our other post shows and things like that. So we may have a sacrifice post show for Impact. I have absolutely no idea. That has not been I cannot confirm or deny that statement. If Nikki is still here, maybe she can. I'm unsure, but it's very possible. But nonetheless, if you guys are not following my Twitch, at Holistic, that's where you're gonna find me playing a lot of the 2K23 gameplay. If you didn't watch my stream last night, my auntie hit some girl with a car, and it was my auntie is a G. She pulled up. This girl was banging my head against the ambulance, and my aunt came up and she ran that girl over. Period. And my aunt is a G, and she was like, "Hell no, nobody finna be beating up on my niece," and that's what happened. So. You want to go see what happened, transpire with that? You gotta go to my Twitch and see what happened over there. Yeah, it's a wild night, but nonetheless, more details coming soon for a sacrifice post show. But definitely check out that the recap that Nikki did for sacrifice as well. So check that out too on the website. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We truly do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I hope you guys have an amazing night. And shout out to the Homo sapiens because we are winning at WrestleMania. Okay? Bye, guys.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.